Okay, we're ready. You ready to get spooky? What?
Dude, your burp was disgusting.
Thanks, Matcha.
I want to hear a joke.
Yes, go for it.
But I need to tell you something. I really, 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 really like you.
Really?
Really, Letti?
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
What is a ghost's favorite dessert?
I don't know.
Blueberries.
Ice cream.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our Halloween episode. We're so excited. Why are we so excited?
Because we have a special guest
We have
today.
our first guest. Papa, say hello.
Hello, very special.
And who are you to us?
I am Letti and Lupe's first cousin. Their father and my mother are brother and sister.
So today's episode is all about spooky things. And we asked Papa to be here today because
I'm spooky.
he's spooky.
Very spooky.
Very spooky. Lupe has set some stuff up.
So, Papa, will you take out the pumpkin?
I got a pumpkin.
Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is you draw a question, and then you answer it first, and then we answer it. And then we kind of go
I'm
around.
already sweating.
Why are you sweating?
Because I'm nervous.
Nervous.
Okay. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to talk
Okay.
about. All right, what a
All right,
coincidence.
look.
Okay, so it says, do you believe in ghosts?
Why?
There's no why, it just says WH. Okay, so I feel like my answer is going to be kind of long to this. Do you want me to?
Yes, we want
Okay.
your real
Yeah.
answer.
I do. I believe in ghosts. And I've shared with y'all before that the house that I grew up in, I believed was haunted. We lived right next door to our grandmother until I was about 9. My family did. And then we moved out to Placido. And the house that my parents bought is really old. It was built like in the late 20s. And so the original part of the house is downstairs. And then the second time that they added onto the home, they added an upstairs. And then the third time they added a garage with an attic. So it's been added onto several times, but the original part of the home has like the original flooring and the walls and everything. And so very shortly after moving in, I started experiencing some things that were scary. And as a child, I felt like, it was weird and it was scary. I didn't like being there. My sisters, after talking to them, they were starting to feel some of the same things. My mom never really believed in any of that, so that made it kind of hard. But when I got older, like the things that we experienced kind of just elevated, and so it had gotten to the point where I actually reached out to a paranormal investigator, and actually their name was at the time Golden Crescent Paranormal Investigators, something like that. But yeah, they came out and they did a whole night session, and they got evidence of some voices and some things moving, and it was pretty crazy. But beyond that, I feel like I've always just believed in spirits in the spirit world. I was thinking on the way over here, I've had some people in my life that have passed that were really close to me. And I think especially after watching y'all's podcast on religion and like thinking about how we pull things from what we grew up being taught and then just things that we've learned in our life. But when I think of what I believe as far as spirits, I think that we have our bodies physically, they're gifted to us, but our souls are here forever and have been here for a very long time. And I think that we just don't have the ability to physically see that yet. I think we're really close to it. Working with kids, and maybe you've experienced the same thing before, there's been times when I meet a child and I'm like, you've been here before. Like, there's just something about you you're not brand new. Here physically there are good and evil people. I feel like the same is to be said about spirits. Like sometimes there's spirits that are there to help guide us and protect us, just as there are really malevolent, dark spirits that do quite the opposite. And, sometimes that's embodied in people. But anyway, on the way over here, I was thinking about, I had a friend that passed away about 4 years ago. We were really close. And I hadn't talked to her in a while. And there's this song that was like one of her favorite songs. It's called Free Fall. It's by Rainbow Kitten Surprise. And that's not a song that you like hear very often unless you know what it is. And so I was driving somewhere. I had some people in the car and it came on and I thought to myself, oh, I need to text her. Like I haven't talked to her in a while. I found out 2 days later that she passed away that night. And I'm really big on people sending us messages after they've passed. And there's been several times when I like think about her and then I hear that song in a coffee shop or it randomly comes on like somewhere you wouldn't expect it. And she's not the only one that I've experienced that with, but like I think that there's so many signs and lots of evidence to suggest that there's something beyond, just us here physically. But so in short, yes, I believe in ghosts.
I believe in spirits, yes. I don't know if because I think of ghosts, I think of Casper the
I don't
friendly
like the word
goat.
ghost.
No,
I'm gonna say
not
spirit.
I'm not saying that, but as Catholics, we do believe in evil, and there is evil, and we do believe in purgatory, and we do believe in these things. So I would wholeheartedly agree with you. I feel like there are spirits here that haven't made it to where they're trying to get to. I don't like opening the door to it because it terrifies me. I'm terrified. I'm a scaredy cat. I don't like talking about ghosts. I don't like doing things like that. So I think it's just funny that my daughter asked for this topic for this podcast or this episode because I just don't really like talking about scary things. But yes, I do believe.
I think our understanding of like heaven and the afterlife is so much more than what we understand it.
I agree with
so often you see our loved ones depicted as like angels. Like biblically, we don't turn into angels when we die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't.
And who is to say that there isn't like a pathway to that? I absolutely believe that there are energies and spirits of loved ones around. I also had somebody describe to me that like they said like if a negative energy happens in that space, it's kind of like imprinted on that space. Yeah. So it may not even be like a spirit or something, but it's like the negativity of whatever happened to that soul in that space is like imprinted on that home. So I thought that was really interesting.
I also think that spirits just get like a really bad reputation. Because I mean, in the house that I grew up in, I say haunted, but it wasn't necessarily like a negative thing. If there was a spirit that was there, I think they were just trying to make themselves known. But we've learned to be so afraid of that because we can't see it, you know? So I don't know that it was necessarily a negative thing. It's just weird because you can't, you can't see.
It's scary. So Papa and I, growing up.
See, they're already doing it.
I was
just
gonna
answer the questions out of the pumpkin.
Oh my
You're gonna end up talking for 30
She's
minutes.
mad because Letty and I grew up really close.
We did.
What were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
say that we used to have sleepovers.
So then we're gonna talk about 10 minutes about your sleepovers. Take a question out of the pumpkin. I'm scared.
Nobody would tell a spooky. I'm kidding. Tell a spooky story that's happened to me.
So I want to cut you off on your first one because I was like, well, get there, Papa. Just answer the freaking question.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, like I've said before, I don't like talking about spooky shit. But when we were kids, my mom and dad, we lived in a really...
This already bothers me because we've talked about this.
We lived in a really small house growing up. And back then it felt like it was the biggest house in the world. And it wasn't. It was a very tiny house. But I had the tendency to wake up in the middle of the night and walk to my parents' bedroom and sleep with my mom and dad often. This one particular night, I vividly remember something woke me up and being anxious and scared and walking to my mom and dad's bedroom. And I got in the middle of the bedroom with them and I started to fall asleep. And then something woke me up again. And I don't know if I was dreaming or I don't know if it was really happening. But when I woke up, so my parents' bed, mom and dad's bed was in the middle. and then you had the restroom, and then they had their, what do you call it? Their armoire, and then there was a window right here. And they had a tela, like a, what is that called? What's the
Screen.
the screen. And when I sat up, and again, I had no idea what this was. So when I was describing it, I didn't know, what did you say?
But just actually describe it. What did it look like?
It was creepy. It was like, you know, like if you're watching a movie and
It was almost like if you're staring at somebody and you close your eyes and you still see the imprint,
yes,
like a negative.
okay.
That's what, and I experienced the exact same thing.
In this, what I actually saw was what you
Just say it.
what you described as, what is it called?
BDSM.
BDSM, like someone wearing leather, someone wearing like a hood,
I
someone with like
remember
a
it
gag in their
being
mouth.
Like it kind of looked like yeah, like you
know,
said,
like American Horror Story.
Yes.
That's what it looked like.
it was
Sincerely.
like the ball. There was chains, there was a whip, and I remember like being terrified. And I didn't even want to sleep in my mom and dad's room, but I also was terrified to get out of bed and to walk to my room. So I think I stayed up the whole night until the sun came out, looking at that window, waiting for the sun to come up. And I think after that night, I stopped going to my mom and dad's room.
And you know, as a kid, seeing that, I don't know if I saw it multiple times, but I very clearly remember exactly what you're describing, like this negative image in front of their bed. And at the time, I didn't know what sex looked like, but it was two people having sex, and they were wearing that leather kind of dominatrix.
And so did y'all talk about this before?
No.
Or like not
No.
until y'all were adults?
Not until we were older. And when I was describing it to him, his first response was, "You've heard me say this." And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I've never heard you describe that to me before." But yeah, I mean, it was creepy.
Yeah, that's
I
very
stopped
creepy.
sleeping with my mom and dad after that. I never felt like there was scary things. But I do want to add to this story, and then I'll let you talk. The night that I went to my mom and dad's room, I don't know if you remember this, but this is the night that my lamp fell over and caught my teddy bear on fire.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Dad had to go in there. Yes, seriously.
Creepy.
It's the same
That's so
night
creepy.
that the lamp fell over and my teddy bear was sitting right there, and Dad was like, "It could have caught your whole bed, your
don't know
whole
if I
room on
remember that.
fire."
So I lived in LA for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the middle of the pandemic, and I had been living in this really nasty, like $500 a month basement. And a friend of a friend, a good friend of mine, knew that I was like living in this very uncomfortable position. And she had just put her house on the market like 2 months or like 2 weeks before the pandemic started. So she, had shared that she was really frustrated. She wasn't sure how long the house was going to be on the market. And she offered me twice to stay in the house. And it was this big, beautiful home in like the Hollywood Hills of LA. And I didn't think she was serious. And then a second time she offered, and I'm like, if you're serious, that'd be really nice, because I'm like living in like a moldy basement right now. So I moved into this house knowing that the last person to live in the house had committed suicide in the master bathroom. Like I knew I was going to be the next person living in right after that. I told myself, like, you have the Holy Spirit, like, you're a positive light, like, you're going to be fine in this home. And the moment I was in that home by myself, weird things started happening, but they were all, like, very explainable. It wasn't crazy, far-fetched stuff until I was in the house on the third night, and my heart is racing. Like I have like this anxiety that like I'm gonna see something or hear something, and I'm like, dude, you're psyching yourself out. There's nothing, you're not gonna see anything. But I was taking a shower in the restroom
I didn't know he was gonna say shower.
I was taking a shower in the restroom that he had committed suicide in.
But he said he was taking a shit.
Okay, Lippy. You can't even let me tell a story without making a joke about shit.
Say the story. I'm sorry.
So I'm taking a shower and my heart is like racing, and I keep like looking back at like the mirror that's like fogging up. And I'm like singing an old Christian song to like help calm me down. I get out of the shower, I put a towel on my head to dry my hair, and the moment I stop singing, like the exact moment I stop singing, a glass wall sconce and the light in the wall sconce shatter. Like I hear two shatters. One, like, it shattering, hitting the ground, and then the light bulb popped. And I'm like, So I take the towel off of my head, and there's like glass all around the floor. And it doesn't look like it's been like perfectly placed around my feet, but like nothing was like right by my foot. Like it was just all around my foot. And it was really creepy, and it felt mean, and it felt like dark, and it felt heavy. And there was a couple of weird things that happened in that house. Well, years later, I'm talking like 2 years later, I'm at a wedding of mutual friends, and this lady comes up to me and she's like, "You're the one who stayed in that house, right?" And I'm like, "I am." And she's like, "A lot of really weird stuff happened in that house when we were like packing it up." And I was like, "Oh, it'd have been nice to have known that before I moved in."
Wow.
But I had never experienced anything like paranormal like that before. And it's all very explainable. Like maybe the steam of the shower, I don't know, like everything is explainable, but it was very, very creepy, and I could not sleep in that room for the next 2 months that I stayed in that house. I couldn't. You're the one who has
Wow.
all the crazy, scary
I
stories.
do, and for whatever reason, nothing like that is coming to mind. But I do, I've noticed a trend. Like every time that I've moved, I've had things happen to me. Um, so I've only moved 3 times in my life. When I was born, we lived at that house that I was in until we were 9. And I don't really remember anything happening there when we lived there. But when we moved to Placido, within that first 2 nights that we were there, I remember falling asleep, and I would sleep with my back facing the door, and I could feel somebody like stroke the back of my neck. I'm not
Papa.
lying. So I would turn around.
Was it like a light touch or
No,
like
this is like somebody's touching me. And so I would turn around and I would have to go sleep in my mom and my dad's room. I slept in the room for about a week. Um,
how old were you?
9. I was 9
9.
years old. And so that, I mean, that is, and I'm literally maybe the second night that we stayed there, and I had stuff happen to me the entire time I lived. Even now,
That's
as a
so
34-year-old
creepy.
man, I have a really big issue with being in my parents' house by myself. When I graduated from college, I actually moved back into the house that we lived in until I was 9.
Were you staying in the same room?
No, I was in the master bedroom then because I was the only one there. But as y'all know, and I won't say the location of the house, but we lived right next door to our grandmother who died in her house. Um, and I used to have these, I would consider nightmares of, I know this is kind of disturbing, but she was dead in her bed for about 2 hours before they took her. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
And the vision of the way that she passed is something that has been just
Like
engraved
embedded in
in
your,
my
yeah.
mind. Like I can't get that picture out of my head. And there was quite a few times when I would fall asleep in that house where I would wake up seeing that, or I would dream that I could hear her tapping on my window.
How
I
did you
would-
know it was her?
I don't know, but I would open the blinds and she would be there in the window with that,
That
face.
face.
I was so uncomfortable. That would happen often. And then when I moved out of that house into the apartment that I have now, the first night that I was there, I fell asleep, and right before I like drifted into a deeper sleep, I would hear, "Hey," and so I would wake up and I would fall back asleep, and "Hey," so I would wake up again, and
Papa.
and then it was like it was in my ear, but then every time it would happen, it was like in that corner or like in the bathroom or in my ear, like it kept moving. That happened for about 2 nights and then it stopped.
So when we were little, at the house that you grew up in, there is one particular story that I tell always when I peed in my pants because I was terrified to go inside to use the restroom. Like I could not, for some reason, I could not go back inside.
And was that because of things that I told you, or you just felt that way?
I think it was a mixture of both.
Because the reason I'm asking is we were very careful, like not to tell my nieces and nephews how we felt about the house, and they always just formed a fear on their own of it.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
I seriously.
so weird.
And do you remember when I peed? Yeah, like
And the original part of the house that was built first, that is the scariest. Like it's just, I never feel like I'm alone when I'm there. It's scary.
yeah, it is.
Okay, next question.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay. What are you dressing up as Halloween? What are you dressing up for Halloween this year? What is your past favorite costumes? favorites or something you want to do for the future?
So I know this is such a huge letdown, but I actually really don't dress up for Halloween.
Why not?
I just don't. I've never, and it's funny because I mean, I know that y'all know like I'm a really creative person, but I don't know. I think it's one of
I'm
those
like
things
really
where
creative.
I am. I'm a really creative person, but I feel like it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I have time, I have time, I have time, and then it's like Halloween's
never
this week,
have
and I'm like, oh
time.
crap. I
So you're
didn't
not
plan
dressing up for
anything.
Halloween this year?
Maybe, but I haven't planned anything. As far as past, like I've done some really good, like Dia de los Muertos type
Yeah,
things.
you've done some really cool
Um,
candy skull
and
paint.
I've made like hats and stuff, but as far as this year, I have no idea.
What about you?
Me and my babies and my husband are going as the Power Rangers, and I'm really excited.
Have y'all gotten the costumes
yeah, we
yet?
got them today.
Did you try it on?
Not yet. And Justin's is like the latex.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
I can't wait.
They've got a power and a force that you've never seen before.
I would cheers.
I'm gonna be the greatest showman, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think you're
I'm
gonna
waiting on my boots, and I'm hoping they come in tomorrow in time for our trunk or treat. Because if they don't, it's like the costume's not gonna be complete.
but what's your favorite from the past?
Ooh. I like dressing up as royalty. Do you remember the Goosebump episode where, or no, it was the Hocus Pocus where you turn into whatever you're wearing that Halloween night?
That's not Hocus Pocus. That's Halloween Town.
Is it Halloween
Yes,
Town?
it's Halloween
Yeah.
Town.
So whenever I dress up, I'm like, if I get turned into this, I want to be a king or a prince.
Letty's gonna be a Power Ranger.
Yeah. That'd be
What are you gonna be, a skeleton?
Yeah.
Remember
What's one of
me.
your favorites from the past costumes?
My Dia de los Muertos ones. I feel like I put a lot of effort into those. They came out pretty cool.
And you? Was it Forrest Gump?
That's my
That was
favorite
a
of
pretty
y'all.
good
Well,
one.
Me and my husband
I'll
go
put a
out.
picture right here.
Me and my husband go out, but I would like to say Napoleon and Pedro, or we've done some funny ones. I think all of ours. For those who like SNL, Mr. Peepers and Dr. Whatchamacallit was probably my favorite.
That was a funny one.
Yeah.
Okay, ask the next one.
What's your favorite scary movie and why? Okay. I love scary movies, and one of my favorite memories with y'all is growing up and watching scary movies. Our parents loved them. One of my favorite, when I think of y'all, we talked about this last time, is the Goosebumps episode, The Haunted Mask. I feel like we would watch that. We would watch that all the time, even
time.
when it wasn't like October Halloween. But anytime I think of y'all's house, that house, I think of that movie. I love scary movies and scary series.
No, I hate them. I absolutely.
You don't like them at all?
I do not like scary movies at all. And like Papa said, I think it has everything to do with Dad and just being brought up with him scaring the living
My
daylight
dad
out of
has
us.
a lot of scary stories from homes that he lived in
Yes.
to just a whole
No,
bunch
I'm
of different
I'm
stuff.
terrified of them. I was gonna say, but if I had to pick, it would be Joyride.
That's a creepy movie.
That's a creepy movie. That movie. I also at the time was doing a lot of prank phone calls, and I think Dad showed us that movie to scare me, and it did. I never prank phone called again after
Letty and
that.
I used to call each other three-way and just prank call people.
Oh gosh. I like the reboot of Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds in it.
That is a good movie.
They added in this really creepy sub-story of like the house being haunted because of like Native American torturing that used to happen underneath it, and that creeped me out so much. I think there are so many like old houses where like bad things happen in them, like really bad things. And that's just really creepy to me. But the movie was really well done.
I like
I also really like The Sixth Sense. Like that's just creepy on another level. Like anything with M. Night Shyamalan, like his movies are so like thought-provoking, and I love The Sixth Sense.
So I just got chills because also on the way over here, I thought about something to talk about, just like really weird coincidences that have been happening to me lately. When we were talking about scary movies, I had thought to myself, the very first scary movie that I've ever seen in the movies was The Sixth Sense. And I was like, I want to talk about that. So it's really weird that you're bringing it up now. But I remember that being the very first scary movie that I saw in a movie theater, and it scared the crap out of me. And it's really not even that scary of a movie.
Yes,
It's a
it
scary, yeah.
Not for
it's
me. Like on a
scary.
scale of scary, that to me isn't scary. But as a kid, it was. And you know how in the movie they had like the significance of the color red anytime. I was terrified of the
The
color red for
color
a long
red.
time. Yeah. But yeah, that was the first movie I ever saw
No, dude.
in the theater
It was a really creepy movie.
with Amy Rubio.
Mine was The Orphan, and that movie terrified.
That was a creepy one.
That terrified me.
Okay, go back to the pumpkin.
I'm sorry, Lupe.
They will talk forever if I don't redirect them.
Okay. Favorite Halloween memory. We have a lot of funny favorite Halloween memories, but I think, this just popped in my head. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
Okay, Letti, really?
Really, Letty?
The memory,
Really, Letti?
no, the memory I was gonna say was a cousin's wedding who got married on Halloween, but they're
So
not.
you can say that.
talk about that.
Just don't say their names.
Okay, they got married on Halloween, and it was the first Halloween with Bella. And I dressed up as an Indian, Justin dressed up as a pilgrim, and Bella was
a turkey.
I have to say, at that wedding, our family showed up
We
with
did.
costumes. Everybody
We
got
all
dressed
did.
up.
Halloween themed wedding. Of course we were. I don't
It was-
remember what I dressed up as.
I don't.
I think I was a T-bird from Greece.
You were, yes.
Yeah.
You were. What were you?
I made that
Dia de
jacket
los Muertos.
myself. I made that
Inspired
jacket
costume,
myself.
yeah.
Well, your mom and dad.
My mom was Dolly Parton.
Yes. Yes.
Complete with boobs.
Yes, I do
don't remember what my dad
that.
was.
I don't
I don't know
remember
what
what
your dad was.
mom and dad were creepy too. That was a good. Yeah.
Okay, Papa, favorite Halloween memory?
Mine, and we talked about this last time, but like some of the memories I have, I feel like we should have been 8, but we were probably like 18. But one of our cousins picked us up in one of y'all's vans, and we went trick or treating. But it was like me, you, and Chris, and some others. And I know that's really simple, but like I feel like that's the last
Like
memory of
hoorah.
being a kid
Yeah.
during Halloween. My mom has always made Halloween any holiday she's been made really special.
Talk about that a little bit, because your mom,
My mom
and dad
goes
both go all out.
And like my mom goes all out for everything, but my mom loves Halloween, and so my mom and my dad get dressed every year. She buys matching costumes,
And they go like all out.
Yeah, so their
He
costumes.
was Beetlejuice.
Their Beetlejuice costumes were my favorite. Their costumes
That was
this
just last year, right?
Yeah, their costumes this year are good. You'll have to wait to see
Oh,
them.
you can't tell?
No.
Okay.
But my mom goes. She decorates the house, and their house is like the house to go to in Plasto. The kids come in like hay rides and truckloads. So they decorate the porch really cool, and they play creepy music and lights. And my mom goes out there dressed, and she starts buying like a month before, but she buys full-size candy bars. This year she's making hot dogs, and somebody's making wings, and we play movies. Like it's a whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before, Christopher didn't like celebrating his birthday. Now he's like, I don't want to do anything on my birthday. We used to throw him big Halloween parties, and we had one at Grandma Tommy's ranch.
Yeah.
And I got to decorate her old barn like as a walk-through haunted house. And it was just really fun. I really enjoyed decorating for his
I
birthdays.
vividly remember
I've
that.
always decorated for all of our birthdays, but Christopher's was fun because it was always Halloween themed. So I have good memories with that. Yeah. Are there any more questions? on
No,
pumpkins?
that's all the questions.
How do we want to wrap up?
Like a mummy.
What are your plans this year for Halloween?
I'm going to my mom's house, and then I'm pretty sure we're going out. Because Halloween's not always on a weekend, so it's always fun to see people dressed up.
Me and my kids are just gonna be fighting anything. I don't know if y'all know me, but when I get in character, I'm in character. So we're gonna have fun as some Power Rangers.
Do you eat your kids' candy?
I do. I devour that candy. And Justin and I wait for them to go to bed, and we'll dump it all out, and we'll take out everything we like, and then we put everything back into their buckets.
Last year I was crazy busy for like the 2 weeks leading up to Halloween because we had the big Dunlap's Dungeon haunted house. But now that we're renting out the venue every weekend, I wasn't able to do that. So this Halloween's going to be a lot more relaxed than last Halloween. I was so stressed last year, so I don't really have any plans. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't like spooky things, but I like scaring people. And one thing that I truly love to do is scare my husband because he's the biggest scaredy cat ever. And I just think of all the times I've hid under beds or I've hidden like little corners of things to scare him. So I always like to do that too.
Any questions for us, Papa, as our first guest? That's kind of a big honor.
It is.
I can ask y'all a question.
You can
Yeah,
ask
what
us
would you
any
like to
que-
ask?
and it
Any
doesn't have to
question you want.
be-
It can be real.
It can be real.
We're giving you full reign.
Okay,
I'm
so
scared now.
so one of the things that we get kind of judged for sometimes is like our love for scary things and Halloween and stuff. But a lot of that really contradicts what we were brought up to believe in our religion. Like, how do y'all? Because I know that there's people who think negatively of that.
I think it goes back to our last episode that we had. I don't think there's evil. And I feel like if we were to say that there weren't scary things, we would be lying, because the Catholic Church is known for going in and doing the specific things that they do. So I do believe that you should not let it in your home. And that's real. Like if I like there's specific movies that I would never let my
Yeah,
children
I've never
watch.
seen The Exorcist. Like, I'm
Because
terrified of that movie. I've never seen it.
I feel like when you bring that into your home, you're opening the door for that type
And
of
I feel like you've done a really good job with your kids in making Halloween not so much of like an evil, scary thing, but like a
Thank you.
fun,
Yeah.
you know.
I just saw something on Instagram like yesterday, and I kind of wanted to bring it up, but it was basically saying that as Christians, instead of like backing away from the holiday, like we can still have fun with it. Like you're not worshiping evil.
Oh,
Like
that's what you sent me.
you think about it, it's like community getting together,
Yeah.
talking with your neighbors, dressing up and having fun. Like you could make anything evil. Like sincerely, you could make
Yeah, oh, yeah, I
anything
agree.
evil. But if you are focusing on like the good things about it, then there's nothing evil about it. And I think it's so wrong for people to just like label something as wrong or evil and demonic. And I'm like, no, like anything can be labeled
Yeah.
that way.
My husband wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He wasn't allowed to watch anything. He couldn't read the books. They didn't celebrate Halloween because of it. And I think coming into our family, that has been one of his things that he like thoroughly looks forward to. Like if you've ever
spooky
driven,
stuff?
yeah, if you've ever driven by our house, he goes all out. And so I think I get really excited to experience that with him because the child comes out in him and we have fun with it.
Yeah. Okay, on the count of three, we'll all say Happy Halloween and blow a kiss at the camera or what?
Blowing kisses.
Happy Halloween, motherfucker.
Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Happy
Halloween!